Data poisoning is a well-known term in the field of security, and anybody who is working in the field of security or a kind of related domain, then definitely you must be knowing the meaning of this particular term. But for a layman, let me explain it. That when we are going to have some sort of poisoning in data, means you are putting some wrong data or some malicious information inside your database, then it is causing your inference system to get malfunction. And in that way, you are saying that your data has been poisoned, means ultimately your system functioning has been poisoned. So that's the literal meaning of data poisoning. So coming on to this particular topic, we are going to deal with the meaning and the basic information of data poisoning, then the related things, the kind of key aspect, and whether it's a related myth or not. Additionally, we are going to look out that what are the some information spots where you can go and find some of the related information, and some of the practical libraries and the key spots where you can hit on. So in this particular video, we are going to deal with this. So let's just start. Hey there, my name is Rohit Kumar, and today we are going to look on to data poisoning. So coming with the basic definition of data poisoning, here you can see the math company. It's a kind of blog. So here you can see that they have said it's a form of adversarial attack. And adversarial attack is nothing but an attack which is done by an adversary. Adversary is a kind of opponent, means anybody who is not favoring your work might have some sort of attack onto you that is termed as adversarial attack. So data poisoning is a kind of it's a kind of adversarial attack. Means there are so many different types of adversarial attacks possible. It is one of them. So it involves the manipulation of training data sets by injecting the poisoned or the polluted data. So same thing, means whichever data is non-desired is considered as poison. Like in communication, whichever signal is not desired is considered as noise. Similarly, in database terms, from a security point of view, whichever data is not required, they have considered it as a poison because ultimately it is corrupting your whole data set. And what is the impact? So it just impacts the behavior of the trained ML model and delivers the false results. So that's the whole thing. So if you're interested, you can just move on to this particular blog. Interestingly, this blog has covered so many different aspects, and they have written onto the thing and focused onto the thing that how this particular data poisoning concept is impacting the AI ecosystem. Additionally, the kind of other things like which are the sort of different possible key aspects of data poisoning, how it works, and what are the sort of inference systems, then whether it's a myth or not, with the help of some specific case studies like the Google's Gmail spam filter, Microsoft's Twitter chatbot, they have discussed this concept. So hopefully you must have liked it. And if you want more information, you can jump onto this article, or there are so many other articles. Moving further, coming on to the specific information, so like we have started in our videos to include some of the practical hands-on concepts related things, so that it becomes easy for the kind of viewers who are interested in actual hands-on. So it's one of the GitHub repository where you can have the sort of poisoning related things. So it's a poisoning benchmark system. So here they are saying that how toxic the data poisoning is, and a kind of unified benchmark they have discussed for the backdoor and the data poisoning attacks. So this repository is the kind of official implementation of this particular thing. They have discussed with the Cypher 10 dataset related thing with respect to the transfer learning and the scratch training. But the point is that this particular dataset related things, before going into this, firstly, you should go to the dataset homepage or the kind of related information page. So we have created a dedicated study on Cypher 10 and the other dataset also, which they have focused at in set. So you can go and have information on TinyVisionNet or the Cypher 10, and then you can come back over here just to have a better understanding. So here, what they have considered some specific key examples of attacks, including the feature collision convex prototype, then the bullseye prototype, clean label backdoor, hidden trigger backdoor, and they have considered the kind of statistic with respect to transfer learning on the white box and the black box type. Then from a scratch training point of view, they have discussed the same sort of attacks. And here they have compared with respect to ResNet 18, mobile version 2, mobile net version 2, VGG 11, and the average overall they have discussed. So all these things will become clear when you have the literal meaning of these models as well as the kind of data sets which they have considered. Then coming on to the tiny ImageNet, again they have done the same sort of thing, considered the similar attacks, and then a white box, black box, and then from scratch training point of view, they have considered the VG11. So if you want to get started with this particular library, so what are the kind of information? I like this part most, because means most of the repositories don't offer the kind of key details that how to install, how to get started. But the kind of libraries, always go with the libraries which are giving you the kind of specific hand-to-hand information that how to do it, how to do that. So they are providing the kind of information to install the requirements, and then training the models, then testing related commands, everything is given. Then crafting the poisons with the setups and evaluation the set of batch of poisons examples. So they have given all the related information. Finally, benchmarking a backdoor or triggerless attack. They have discussed the kind of key details and given the key information over here. So I think everything is sort ready. If you're interested, just jump onto the library page and get us started. Moving further, we have the another thing, that is data poisoning, federated learning concept. So I am assuming that you must be familiar with the federated learning. And if you are not, you can jump onto a specific blog or the article page and you can have the more information. So they are discussing the data poisoning attacks against federated learning systems, quite popular learning systems. And then they are they are discussing the installation steps, including that how they are setting up the virtual environment, then the kind of dependency installation, and then finally they are discussing that if you are needing a specific library like matplotlib, how to do and work with them. Then the instructions for the executions, including the kind of setup steps, the general information, the experiment that you can do in the specific terms of label flipping attack or the sort of attack timing and the sort of malicious possibility availability, then the defending against the label flipping attacks, etc. The number of different attacks they have discussed means at least 4 or 5 attacks they have discussed. It's good enough to start with. And the kind of hyper parameters settings, that is quite important thing, because many times there are hyper parameters with respect to every setup of MLDL, but people don't know how to set them up. So with respect to this particular thing, they have given their specific hyperparameter statistics also, which is quite good, just to have a cross-checking of the things and the kind of results. So that's the really good coverage. And finally, moving on to the citation part. So they have given the citation. Out of ethical responsibilities, we are supposed to do a proper citation if you are taking the help of a particular library. So hopefully this video must have been liked by you. And if you didn't like anything, please do comment below and let us know that what are the things that could be done to improve the kind of things which are required. Additionally, one more thing, that whenever we are jumping onto this particular concept of data poisoning, as I told you that it's an adversarial attack. So there are so many related things which are working behind the scene. And if you're interested, you can jump onto the kind of related blogs or the pages. I will also recommend that to go through some of the libraries page, because there are so many GitHub libraries or the repositories available. Additionally, there are other so many code sharing platforms. So just to move on to them and have a look onto the kind of key libraries which are helpful for the actual implementation of these sort of experiments. Additionally, there are a number of pages on the academic web portals, including the ACM Digital Library, Google Scholar, etc. So just move on to them and find some of the related papers. Like there was a interesting work in 2018 titled "The Poison Frogs," and these were targeting the clean label poisoning attacks on the neural networks. So such works means literally put sort of curiosity in the mind of audiences that what is supposed to be the kind of poison frogs or how they are actually working behind the scene, all these things. So these are the sort of things, and let me just cover up one more example, which is the literal new one. So that is the analysis and detectability of offline data poisoning attacks on linear dynamical systems. So it's a recent work, and again, the related GitHub library you can find online. So that's the basic coverage. Additionally, if you want some of the related information, I will suggest you to go online and find lots more related information and the kind of stuff. Don't always means anytime, don't get restricted to a single information page. It doesn't matter whether it's a page, blog, article, video, etc. Similarly stands for this video also. Don't completely believe on this video. Go on to the multiple sources, hit your spots, do a comparative analysis, and then make up your mind. So hopefully must have been given some useful information to you to start with. So we'll catch up later, relating and asking for the related information. If you didn't like any part, then sincerely do comment below and let us know. Literally do criticize the video. Thanks for watching. Happy learning.